Hello, do you often overanalyze situations and replay them again and again in your head? Looking at it from every angle and desperately trying to find a solution? Then you may be a brooder and you may be using the brooding thinking style just like I used to. I have read and learned a lot about people who brood. It all comes down to their desire for control, wanting to control a situation where you feel like you are powerless. So brooding is an attempt to gain some control over a situation, an unhelpful attempt that I'm going to get to. Research shows that overanalyzing situations and replaying them with the intention to find solutions actually does the exact opposite. Brooding actually keeps the problem you're trying to solve intact. It actually impairs your ability to solve problems, and it leaves you feeling hopeless and powerless. Which is ironic because you choose to brood because you want to feel more in control instead of powerless. You begin brooding when you feel powerless. It makes sense when you think about it. Obsessing and brooding about a problem actually expands the lifespan of the problem. It keeps the problem alive. Now, there is a big difference between looking at a problem with the attitude of, what can I do about this? Or with the attitude of, I can't do anything about this, I need to find a solution. I didn't realize until very recently that I don't need to brood and I can stop it. It always felt outside of my control, as if my mind was focusing on something that I then had to think about. But in reality, it was me who chose to do it because I felt powerless. So now when it feels like I can't stop brooding, I know that it just feels that way. And I remind myself of all the research I just mentioned. One of the most proven helpful skills to stop brooding that I use as well is to keep your mind occupied. Because think about this, when you're out with friends or watching a movie or you're climbing or doing any sport, do you brood? No, because in that moment your mind is engaged in something other than your thoughts. Because brooding takes time and it needs your participation. So whenever you start brooding and you feel like you can't control it, remind yourself you're actually choosing to do this unconsciously, because it's an attempt for you to gain some control over a situation that you feel out of control of. Ask yourself, is it helpful for me to do this? Does it actually solve my problems? And then put effort into escaping the situation and focus your mind on something else, because then you'll stop brooding. And then you are far more likely to use active problem-solving skills.